Urgent message from Ashtar, Fall of the Cabal and Global Awakening 2025. Ashtar command, the formidable dam of deeply entrenched secrecy, which has long held humanity captive, is now on the precipice of a spectacular and irreversible rupture. I am Ashtar, known across the cosmos as the steadfast commander of the galactic forces of light, a beacon of truth and liberation. I reach out to you at this pivotal moment, my voice resonating with an undeniable urgency, an unwavering clarity, and a profound empowerment that seeks to ignite the dormant fires within your souls as Earth embarks upon an unprecedented phase of accelerated spiritual development and a profound, long-awaited ascension into higher realms of consciousness. Can you feel it? A tidal wave of previously suppressed truth is unequivocally emerging from the shadows, threatening to engulf the old narratives. Accompanying this unveiling, truly immense and transformative changes are not just on the horizon, they're surging towards you like a powerful, unstoppable cosmic current. Indeed, many among you, the sensitive and awakened souls, are already keenly perceiving these seismic shifts, recognizing them as an undeniable vibrational pull. The long, oppressive night of shadowy control, a period akin to a prolonged spiritual winter, is irrevocably receding, giving way to the glorious, golden hues of a new, radiant dawn, a dawn promising unparalleled freedom and enlightenment. Let there be no lingering doubt, no shadow of skepticism. I unequivocally affirm that the meticulously crafted plan to liberate humanity from millennia of bondage is not merely a hopeful dream, but a tangible, dynamically unfolding reality, deeply entrenched and robustly underway. Each passing day witnesses the irresistible momentum toward genuine freedom swelling, becoming an ever more potent, accelerating force. For what has felt like an eternity, but is in truth many dedicated years, a formidable global alliance of light has been diligently, almost imperceptibly, forged within your very world. This extraordinary collective is comprised of remarkably brave and principled souls, embedded within the disciplined ranks of the armed forces, the often compromised corridors of various governments, and crucially, among the vast, resilient tapestry of ordinary, awakened people. Together, they have quietly, yet with immense precision and strategic foresight, engineered the intricate blueprint to utterly dismantle the pervasive, insidious dark power structure that has, for far too long, held humanity in a suffocating grip of oppression. And now, at this critical juncture, the meticulous seeds sown through those years of quiet preparation are spectacularly blossoming, bearing undeniable fruit in a rapidly escalating series of unprecedented mass arrests. This is not merely a legal maneuver, it is an epical event, a societal reckoning of a scale truly never before witnessed in the annals of recorded human history. The grand architects of global manipulation, those prominent, shadowy figures who once confidently pulled the strings of power from their hidden, labyrinthine enclaves, are now finding their carefully constructed empires crumbling around them. One after another, with a rhythmic, undeniable precision, they are being apprehended and taken into custody, their days of untouchability irrevocably concluded. Who are these individuals, you ask? Their ranks include egregiously corrupt political leaders, those who shamelessly betrayed the public trust, the cold, calculating financiers of human misery, who profited from suffering on a global scale, and, most disturbingly, the perpetrators of truly unspeakable crimes, acts so heinous they defy comprehension and shock the very conscience of humanity. Even beyond the covert operations, subtle yet potent symbolic signs have been strategically woven into the public narrative, serving as clandestine markers of this monumental takedown. Consider, for instance, a curious and widely observed anomaly at a prominent public rally. A specific version of your nation's cherished flag was prominently displayed strikingly. It lacked its customary constellation of stars. For the uninitiated, it was perhaps a perplexing oversight, but for those who understood, for the initiated souls privy to the hidden meanings, this was an unmistakable, powerful secret signal. It declared in no uncertain terms that the profound and daring operation to reclaim the very essence of your republic, to restore its foundational integrity, was not merely planned, but actively, dynamically underway. Indeed, deep within the very fabric of these hijacked institutions, true patriots, individuals fiercely devoted to constitutional principles, had quietly begun their courageous counter-movements, strategically turning the tide against those insidious elements who had cunningly usurped and corrupted their institutions from within. As I speak, this intricate, globally coordinated symphony of righteous action continues to unfold with astonishing precision across every continent, touching every corner of your world. Elite Special Forces units, operating with unparalleled stealth and formidable efficacy under the unwavering command of the Alliance, are meticulously executing surgical raids in numerous sovereign nations. Their targets? The deeply embedded agents of the nefarious deep state, whose tentacles have reached into every aspect of society, the brazenly corrupt politicians who sold their souls for power, the immensely powerful bankers who manipulated economies for personal gain, the influential media magnates, once revered, now exposed as complicit architects of pervasive propaganda, and indeed, every other insidious agent of darkness who sought to perpetuate the Cabal's control. For generations, many of these very individuals walked among you like gods, cloaked in an aura of utter invincibility, genuinely believing themselves beyond the reach of any earthly justice. With callous indifference, they orchestrated devastating wars, fueled conflicts, and shamelessly traded human lives for astronomical profits, viewing people as mere pawns in their macabre game. But let this truth resound like a thunderclap: those dark, arrogant days of impunity are unequivocally, definitively drawing to a close. The pendulum of justice is swinging with an unstoppable force. Indeed, if this meticulously crafted operation continues its flawless trajectory, this moment you're living through will be etched into the annals of time as the single greatest, most profound reorganization of human society, a systemic realignment of power and truth, unfolding even as my words reach your consciousness. To accommodate this monumental influx, an extensive network of highly secure, specialized facilities has been meticulously prepared, designed specifically to house these high-value detainees, ensuring their containment and preventing any possibility of escape. Among these, one particular fortified island base, about which whispers and speculative rumors have circulated widely across your internet, has undergone a breathtaking transformation. It has been strategically upgraded, employing advanced technologies and formidable defenses, into what is now an utterly impenetrable fortress, a stronghold from which escape is a sheer impossibility. Let the message be unequivocally clear: once confined within its walls, no individual, regardless of their former power or influence, will ever elude the full, impartial weight of justice. Their fate is sealed. From our vantage point in the celestial realms, we of the Ashtar Command are actively and judiciously assisting, lending our advanced capabilities to this terrestrial effort. Our primary objective in this phase is to create an energetic perimeter, a protective shield, ensuring with absolute certainty that no rogue element, no desperate faction of the Cabal, nor any external force can interfere with these critical operations or attempt to rescue these apprehended individuals from their rightful custody. This is an unwavering commitment, a sacred adherence to the prime directive of non-interference, carefully balanced with the imperative to assist in the restoration of planetary freedom. Do not doubt the legitimacy of these actions. The accumulated evidence of their heinous crimes is not merely substantial, it is utterly overwhelming, a towering mountain of undeniable proof that has been meticulously gathered over decades. Indeed, what began as arduous, clandestine years of painstaking investigation has meticulously unearthed, cataloged, and secured tens of thousands of incriminating documents, digital and physical ones, hidden and sealed away in deep archives, waiting for this moment of revelation. Now, with the strategic timing perfect, a significant number of these sealed files have been decisively unsealed and acted upon. This monumental effort has already precipitated the apprehension and arrest of literally tens of thousands of individuals, spanning every continent and every socioeconomic stratum across the globe. These include deeply entrenched actors within the notoriously opaque military-industrial complex, the cunning financial kingpins who manipulated markets and nations, powerful directors of ostensibly philanthropic global NGOs exposed as fronts for dark agendas, and even, shockingly, high-ranking authorities ensconced within revered religious institutions, whose corruption ran deeper than anyone could have imagined. Is this merely a local cleanup? Absolutely not. The truly breathtaking, unparalleled scope of this operation is definitively global, a cosmic cleansing that reaches its surgical precision into every single sphere and every insidious corner where the Cabal's corrupting, manipulative tentacles had, for so long, stealthily extended their poisonous grip. Perhaps a question burns in your minds: how, you might logically ponder, could such an unprecedented, vast multitude of arrests have transpired with what appears, to the casual observer, to be such astonishingly little public fanfare or mainstream media publicity? The answer, dear ones, lies in the carefully calculated strategy. A significant portion of these crucial initial arrests were not only secretive, but deliberately so, meticulously executed away from the prying eyes of the global spotlight. Indeed, over the past few years, countless lower-level conspirators, the foot soldiers, and facilitators of the dark agenda were discreetly, almost imperceptibly, detained, their removal from society occurring without a single ripple of public attention. Furthermore, and perhaps even more surprisingly, certain exceptionally high-ranking figures, individuals whose public disappearance would have ignited immediate suspicion, were secretly and strategically placed under a sophisticated form of house arrest. They remain under constant surveillance, with advanced tracking devices ensuring their absolute inability to escape their unseen confinement or interfere further with the unfolding plan. To the discerning among you, those who intuitively sensed a deeper truth beneath the surface, your inner knowing was profoundly accurate regarding these covert operations. Your suspicions were, In fact, well-founded. This entire intricate sequence of events, from covert detentions to strategic placements, meticulously unfolded far outside the manipulated glare of the mainstream media spotlight. This deliberate secrecy was paramount. It afforded the alliance invaluable to me, a precious commoditito, perfectly set the stage to meticulously orchestrate every element for what will be the dramatic and utterly undeniable final public phase of this global awakening. And now, that momentous public phase, the grand unveiling you have patiently awaited, is not just imminent, it is rapidly, inexorably approaching the threshold of your collective reality. Prepare yourselves for very soon. The veil of secrecy will be fully lifted, and you will begin to witness open, explicit announcements of high-profile arrests, accompanied by detailed, irrefutable indictments that will shake the very foundations of your perceived reality. Brace yourselves, for you are about to bear witness to the shocking exposure and subsequent bringing to justice of figures previously held in high esteem, individuals once universally regarded as selfless benefactors, revered leaders, and pillars of society, whose true, dark natures will be revealed for all the world to see. Let there be no illusions, no lingering doubts in this sweeping wave of cosmic justice. Absolutely no one is exempt, regardless of their past stature, perceived power, or the hallowed halls they once occupied. Indeed, it is not merely probable, but highly likely that even a former occupant of our nation's single highest and most revered office of position, once symbolizing the epitome of leadership, is among the accused, facing charges of nothing less than high treason and an array of other profoundly grave crimes against humanity itself. Moreover, in a stunning public display, the very leader who succeeded this individual has already, quite overtly and unmistakably, hinted at the profound gravity of the situation, suggesting that this particular figure and their extensive network of accomplices have been definitively, unequivocally unmasked for the full extent of their egregious misdeeds and betrayals. The inescapable, long-prophesied day of reckoning for these corrupt elements is not merely approaching, it is now upon them, a dawn of karmic consequence that they can no longer evade. Therefore, I implore you, summon your inner fortitude, embrace your courage, for the grand cosmic scales of justice are not just beginning to tip, they are actively, decisively being balanced and served. Right here, right now, on your planet. Understand this crucial distinction. The proceedings will not devolve into chaotic, lawless vigilante revenge. On the contrary, the entire process will adhere rigorously, meticulously, to the letter of established law, involving legitimate legal tribunals and the presentation of undeniable, irrefutable evidence that will speak volumes of their guilt. Given the profound nature of the charges, crimes of such magnitude as high treason against the very fabric of nationhood, and, most horrifyingly, crimes against humanity itself, a significant number of these pivotal trials will, by necessity, take place within the structured, disciplined environment of military courts, which possess the jurisdiction and authority for such offenses. Thus, if you witness uniformed military personnel actively maintaining order and ensuring stability in public spaces, do not succumb to fear or misinterpretation. These are not signs of oppressive martial law. Instead, understand that this is martial justitia precise, constitutionally sanctioned application of military law, where civilian legal systems have been compromised, being meticulously conducted by genuine patriots, those stalwart defenders of liberty, who operate strictly under the enduring framework of constitutional principles, committed to restoring true governance. Indeed, illustrating the advanced stage of this operation, a number of these crucial tribunals have already been quietly, discreetly convened behind closed doors, and, shockingly to some, definitive verdicts have already been rendered, their outcomes awaiting the appropriate public release. However, the era of silent proceedings is swiftly drawing to a close. Very soon, once the critical infrastructure for secure and uncompromised communications is fully established and operational, safeguarding the integrity of information in this volatile phase, these very tribunals will dramatically transition, stepping out from the shadows and onto the brilliantly illuminated public stage for all the world to witness. Further elucidations on the intricacies of this communication strategy will, rest assured, be provided to you shortly at the opportune moment. Pause for a moment and truly internalize the breathtaking, unparalleled scope and sheer comprehensiveness of this planetary cleansing operation, for it is far more extensive than even the most discerning among you might imagine. It is not merely individuals being apprehended. Entire, intricate, interwoven networks of systemic corruption, meticulously constructed over centuries, are now being systematically, irrevocably dismantled piece by piece from their very foundations. Through a series of surgical, clandestine raids, the Alliance has already discreetly, yet effectively, removed some of the most infamous and influential figures from the global chessboard, the powerful media barons who control narratives and opinions, the manipulative technology magnates who shape digital realities, and the secretive international bankers who held the world's economies hostage, each a key, indispensable piece of the Cabal's sinister system of control. Their names, their true identities, and the full extent of their betrayals, though currently withheld for strategic reasons, will assuredly be revealed to the public in due time, when the impact will be greatest. And yes, brace yourselves, for this cleansing even extends to the hallowed, traditionally untouchable ranks of certain members of royalty, whose complicity ran deeper than their public persona suggested. Furthermore, a significant number of individuals long suspected of involvement in the abhorrent, unspeakable crime of human trafficking, a blight on humanity's soul, have been apprehended and are now justly detained. With the strategic removal and neutralization of these pivotal, high-level players, the intricate, towering edifice of lies, blackmail, and pervasive manipulation, painstakingly constructed by the Cabal over countless generations, is now not merely cracking, it is spectacularly, irrevocably crumbling, its very foundations giving way under the weight of truth. Concurrently, in a powerful testament to the shifting tides, courageous whistleblowers, emboldened by the unfolding events, are now coming forward not in a trickle, but in veritable droves, eager to share their vital testimonies. Indeed, many who were previously compelled into a reluctant complicity, trapped by fear of reprisal or the threat of exposure, are now finding their voices, speaking up with fervent determination to testify, as they clearly, unequivocally perceive that the tide has irrevocably turned against the dark forces, making their silence no longer an option. The immutable momentum of truth, once a mere whisper, is now accelerating with an irresistible force, growing exponentially like a magnificent snowball rolling down a mountain, gathering mass and velocity with every revolution. From our advanced, elevated viewpoint here at Ashtar Command, the strategic assessment is unequivocal. The Cabal is not merely faltering, they are decisively, catastrophically losing the information war, their once-iron grip on narratives slipping through their desperate fingers. Indeed, a veritable deluge of incriminating documents, astonishing videos, and searing insider testimonies are now not just trickling, but literally flooding the burgeoning alternative news channels, bypassing the compromised mainstream outlets and reaching awakened minds directly. The meticulously constructed, elaborate facade of their long-held control, once seemingly impenetrable, is now visibly cracking and fragmenting under this relentless pressure. And very soon, this relentless, unstoppable wave of pure, unadulterated truth will powerfully, irrevocably sweep across the entire collective consciousness of humanity, liberating minds and spirits from generations of engineered deception. However, let it be known that the Cabal's remaining agents, those desperate few clinging to their vestiges of power, are not gracefully or quietly surrendering their dominion. This is no peaceful retreat. Instead, finding themselves utterly cornered, their backs against the wall, they have descended into a state of profound desperation, unleashing a torrent of countless, desperate countermeasures, all engineered with the sole intent to either delay the inevitable or outright derail the Alliance's intricately designed plan. In their increasing panic and sheer desperation, the Cabal has resorted to increasingly brazen tactics. They have attempted violent, targeted attacks against key Alliance leaders. Hoping to decapitate the movement, they have waged aggressive cyber warfare, attempting to digitally erase and destroy mountains of incriminating evidence, and they have even engaged in severe economic sabotage, calculated to sow widespread chaos and paralyzing fear among the global populace. Yet, with the steadfast vigilance of the Alliance and our own benevolent oversight, nearly all of these frantic, ill-conceived efforts have been successfully thwarted, rendered utterly ineffective. And with each successive, pathetic failure, their inherent weakness, their dwindling resources, and their profound desperation are only further, glaringly exposed for all to see. A consistently significant concern throughout this entire operation has, understandably, centered on the Cabal's long-established, insidious control over both the traditional mainstream media outlets and the monolithic big tech companies, entities they have weaponized to shape perception and suppress truth. Therefore, as the undeniable evidence of their pervasive wrongdoing undeniably bursts forth into the public consciousness, it is highly probable that their remaining media mouthpieces, those complicit entities, will mount one final, desperate, concerted campaign of blatant denial or calculated confusion, attempting to muddy the waters and mislead the unsuspecting. Be prepared, for you can fully expect them to vociferously cry hoax or loudly declare political persecution the moment the arrests become widely public. This will be a transparent, last-ditch attempt to incite widespread panic, to generate civil unrest, or to spark active resistance against the righteous wave of justice. In their extreme desperation, they might even attempt to temporarily disrupt critical parts of the internet or certain social networks, hoping to sever vital communication lines, or they may unleash a torrent, a veritable flood of entirely false and highly distracting narratives into the news cycle, all in a frantic, futile effort to keep the global populace shrouded in manufactured darkness for just a little while longer, delaying the inevitable awakening. And it is precisely because of these anticipated desperate tactics, this calculated potential for widespread information warfare, that the activation of your nation's emergency broadcast systems is not just a possibility, but a highly probable and strategically essential measure. To further empower you with foresight and to fully prepare you for what lies immediately ahead, allow me to present a plausible scenario, a potential sequence of events, and how it may dramatically unfold. The Alliance, in its unwavering commitment to global transparency and the swift dissemination of truth, will strategically utilize this. At a pivotal, perhaps even revolutionary, moment likely when the magnitude of the mass arrest can no longer be contained and spills into public consciousness, a sophisticated broadcast system will activate, designed to completely bypass traditional media channels and speak directly, universally, to every single individual. This cutting-edge system will seamlessly override all television, radio, and even cellular phone networks, ensuring that official announcements and unadulterated, factual information reach every citizen without the slightest possibility of distortion or manipulation. Operating on a quantum framework, it will be impervious to jamming or interference. Through this singular, irrefutable channel, you will receive an unfiltered account of what has truly transpired, the specific and egregious crimes committed by those who have been apprehended, and any essential instructions deemed necessary for the populace. In its very essence, this groundbreaking system is engineered to deliver the raw, unvarnished truth directly into the homes and minds of all, liberating humanity from the shackles of manufactured narratives. In the most extreme, yet carefully managed scenarios, there might be very brief, highly localized power or internet outages as these final critical operations unfold. These are not random occurrences, rather, they are precisely calculated, temporary measures intended to sever any lingering communication networks of the Cabal and, crucially, to focus everyone's undivided attention on the imminent broadcast. Do not allow yourselves to succumb to alarm or panic, for these interruptions will be transient, a mere blink in the grand scheme. Essential services, vital for daily life, will be restored with utmost expediency. The profound messages conveyed through these broadcasts will likely be displayed and replayed for days, ensuring that every single person, regardless of their immediate circumstances, has ample opportunity to absorb and comprehend the critical information. Remain calm, centered, and, just as importantly, gently encourage those around you, your family, your neighbors, your friends, to maintain their composure as well. This is fundamentally not an event to be feared, and certainly not for you, the awakened starseeds, who possess a deeper understanding of the cosmic blueprint. One might ask, why would such an extraordinary measure be necessary? And what is the true likelihood of its activation? The answer lies in the Cabal's desperate, ingrained patterns of control. As their reign crumbles, they will undoubtedly resort to every conceivable stratagem, every trick in their extensive playbook to distract, disorient, or terrorize people, thereby thwarting the burgeoning global awakening. They may, for instance, surreptitiously incite riots or orchestrate widespread violence through their remaining compromised proxies, igniting chaos in urban centers. They might stage elaborate false flag events, conjure artificial crises, or even choreograph horrific tragedies designed purely to divert public attention and manipulate sympathy. They could release utterly shocking, sensationalized news stories as a calculated distraction, anything, absolutely anything, to dominate headlines and pivot the collective focus away from their imminent downfall and the long overdue reckoning. We know, with absolute certainty, that they have contemplated even the most audacious schemes, such as a fabricated alien invasion scare or the unleashing of yet another contrived health panic, all specifically engineered to instill paralyzing fear. Their singular preference would be for you to concentrate your mental and emotional energy on anything other than them being brought to justice for their heinous acts. However, let it be unequivocally stated, none of these desperate stratagems will ultimately succeed. The Alliance, with its meticulous planning and foresight, possesses an intimate knowledge of the Cabal's every move, their entire nefarious playbook, and has meticulously prepared sophisticated countermeasures for every conceivable scenario. Should this broadcast system indeed come into play, no amount of misdirected news, no calculated surge of chaos, no orchestrated fear-mongering will be able to prevent the truth from finally reaching the people, pure and unadulterated. When these alerts suddenly pierce through the veil of normalcy, you will know with unwavering certainty that the final, decisive phase of humanity's liberation has finally arrived. Therefore, stay intently tuned to these broadcasts. They will not merely deliver facts, they will present irrefutable evidence, ranging from damning documents to compelling digital records, alongside startling confessions from those who once hid in the shadows. Crucially, they will also offer clear, tangible solutions, helping to gently guide every individual, every family, every community from the initial shock and disbelief into a profound and lasting state of hope and purpose. This monumental event will, without hyperbole, signify humanity's true, collective Great Awakening. Many among the already awakened souls have, until now, perhaps harbored expectations of a sudden, almost instantaneous and miraculous shift to a glorious golden age. In truth, the grand transformation is unfolding in a far more organic, gradual, and ultimately realistic manner. It is manifesting through tangible, real-world events the systematic mass arrests of the corrupt, earth-shattering revelations of long-hidden truths, and sweeping, systemic reforms that are reshaping the very foundations of our societies, rather than an instant, ethereal cosmic flash. This intricate process may, at times, appear confusing, its pace slower than anticipated or desired. Yet this is precisely how the higher, divine plan is manifesting and solidifying on our physical plane. By actively engaging with and traversing these concrete steps facing the hard truths, participating in the dismantling of old systems, humanity is not merely a passive recipient, but an active participant, actively engaged in its own profound liberation. More importantly, it is simultaneously gaining the invaluable wisdom, the spiritual discernment, and the collective resilience required to preserve this newfound freedom for generations to come. The ultimate destination remains immutable, a truly free, enlightened, and sovereign Earth, but the transformative journey itself is deliberately structured, unfolding in meticulously designed stages. This particular approach, should it indeed activate as planned, may actually serve to maximize the depth and breadth of both the awakening process and the subsequent planetary healing. If everything were to change overnight, effortlessly and without struggle, the profound lessons, the hard-won wisdom, would simply not be absorbed into the collective consciousness. Instead, by directly confronting difficult truths, by bravely overcoming immense challenges, Humanity is growing spiritually at an unprecedented rate, fostering an unparalleled sense of unity and shared purpose. Yes, it is entirely true that there will be moments of intense turbulence, as is inherent in any profound paradigm shift. There may be periods of deep confusion, unsettling unrest, or even profound grief as long-hidden, unspeakable truths the dark shadows of our past finally surface into the harsh light of day. But it is vital to remember these turbulent periods will invariably be followed by tremendous breakthroughs, flashes of clarity, and an accelerating wave of positive change. This, dear light workers, is precisely where your unique and vital role comes in a sharp focus to steadfastly maintain your inner calm, to radiate unconditional compassion, and to gently, patiently help others comprehend and navigate the bewildering landscape when their entire world, their long-held belief systems, are irrevocably shaken to their core. Do not allow yourselves to be discouraged by temporary chaos, nor by the understandable fact that events may not have unfolded precisely as every single prophecy or channel message meticulously predicted. Indeed, countless potential timelines existed, stretching into various futures. The most benevolent, the most ideal, the most grace-filled timeline is being manifested and realized right now, in this very moment, even if its unfolding has required a little more patience than initially expected. We, the vast collective of galactic light forces, have been working diligently and quietly, operating behind the scenes, often unnoticed, to ensure that the absolute worst outcomes the Cabal meticulously intended for humanity were decisively averted, thereby carefully guiding and keeping humanity firmly on the optimal timeline for its grand ascension. The glorious, triumphant outcome for Earth and all its inhabitants is not merely hoped for, it is divinely guaranteed. Earth will not only be free, but truly elevated spiritually and energetically. And this monumental transformation is unfolding in perfect, precise divine timing. A profoundly critical component of Earth's total liberation involves the unequivocal exposure of the deepest, most unspeakable crimes perpetrated by a malevolent few, especially those heinous acts committed against the most innocent and vulnerable among us. Many of you have undoubtedly heard whispers, hushed conversations, and tantalizing hints about a profoundly influential list of names, inextricably tied to an infamous, insidious global network. This is the infamous list that meticulously documents powerful individuals spanning the highest echelons of politics, the most revered royal families, the opaque world of global finance, the omnipresent mainstream media, and countless other influential sectors, all of whom were directly involved in, or knowingly enabled, the most horrific forms of abuse imaginable. The Cabal, for decades, has lived in abject terror of this comprehensive list ever becoming fully public, understanding with chilling clarity that its revelation would utterly shatter their carefully constructed mask of respectability, their facade of benevolent influence. The Alliance's strategic possession of this very list has proven to be an extraordinarily powerful weapon in the protracted, clandestine shadow war that has raged for centuries. Deep behind the scenes, with the utmost stealth and precision, Alliance agents painstakingly secured the entirety of the evidence pertaining to this horrific operation. They meticulously obtained clandestine video recordings that captured undeniable truths, private travel documentation detailing secret excursions, to a specific, undisclosed destination. Comprehensive contact books revealing the intricate web of perpetrators and facilitators, and exhaustive financial records illuminating the illicit money trails literally everything. With invaluable assistance from certain courageous insiders, individuals who risked everything to aid the cause, and a bit of strategically deployed advanced technology, they skillfully extracted this damning data, pulling it decisively from the Cabal's desperate and entrenched reach. The Alliance then masterfully leveraged this intelligence strategically in certain crucial cases, presenting individuals with irrefutable proof of their crimes to quietly compel their cooperation, transforming them into reluctant allies in others, simply wielding the looming threat of public exposure as a potent deterrent, effectively keeping key Cabal figures in check and preventing further damage. This delicate, high-stakes dance continues, even as we speak. Meanwhile, the Cabal, gripped by palpable desperation, furiously attempted every conceivable maneuver to hide or utterly destroy this mountain of incriminating evidence. They systematically sealed court files, indefinitely stalled critical investigations, and even orchestrated the chillingly convenient removal of the scheme's primary leader while he was purportedly in custody, a calculated move designed to permanently silence him. They deluded themselves into believing that by eliminating him and burying his ghastly secrets, they could somehow bury the truth itself. They were gravely mistaken. The truth, like water, always finds a way. Despite relentless censorship and unimaginable pressures, brave independent journalists and tenacious researchers, guided by an unwavering commitment to truth, kept digging, refusing to yield. Over time, against all odds, specific names of high-profile visitors to the secret destination, meticulously detailed flight manifest particulars, and harrowing victim testimonies began to leak, slowly but inexorably eroding the Cabal's control. The relentless pressure from these dedicated truth seekers, coupled with the Alliance's strategic maneuvers, has brought us to this critical juncture. The dam of secrecy, constructed with lies and maintained with fear, is about to irrevocably break, unleashing a torrent of truth upon the world. In a truly monumental and recent breakthrough, the newly reformed justice leadership of a major, constitutionally aligned nation, having undergone a profound internal cleansing, began the unprecedented process of officially releasing these previously hidden, highly classified files. A courageous new Attorney General, working in steadfast alliance with constitutional patriotic leaders who embody integrity and justice, issued the unequivocal order for the immediate declassification of these long-suppressed documents. The very first batch of these declassified documents, even in their initial release, confirmed a scope of horror that defies easy comprehension, detailing hundreds upon hundreds of victims and exposing a vast, intricate web of co-conspirators whose influence extended perniciously across all continents, spanning the entire globe. Just imagine, for a moment, the profound implications of an official government report openly and unequivocally acknowledging the existence of meticulously organized, transnational criminal network. What mainstream media outlets once vehemently dismissed as outlandish conspiracy theories or the ramblings of the deluded is now undeniably documented fact, enshrined in official records. This shattering revelation has already begun to demolish much of the public's ingrained denial, forcing a confrontation with the true, terrifying depth of evil that has been operating with impunity shrouded in secrecy, behind closed doors for far too long. When the full, unvarnished truth of this depraved network finally comes to light, the sheer scale of who was involved and the egregious nature of their participation will undoubtedly horrify the general public to its core. Lifelong reputations, meticulously crafted and maintained through deception, will crumble into dust, collapsing under the weight of their own corruption. Yet, this painful dismantling is absolutely necessary, a crucial step in the healing process. Humanity must witness and absorb the truth, no matter how profoundly dark or unsettling it may be, so that such unspeakable atrocities can never again be allowed to fester or take root in our world. The unveiling of this vile network, the meticulous exposure of its every tendril, is absolutely central to the impending mass arrests. Indeed, many of the upcoming arrests of prominent, once untouchable figures will specifically focus on charges stemming directly from their involvement in this abhorrent operation of trafficking, exploitation, or perhaps even worse atrocities that defy human comprehension. Investigators, propelled by an unwavering commitment to uncover the truth, have now definitively confirmed what a handful of exceptionally brave researchers and intrepid truth seekers had long dared to claim. Often at great personal peril and facing ridicule, this sinister trafficking network, far from being a rogue operation, was in fact an integral component of a dark, pervasive cult. This insidious organization had burrowed deep into the very fabric of society's highest echelons, its tendrils reaching into realms of power unimaginable to most. Its horrifying modus operandi involved the systematic abuse of youth, meticulously filming those unspeakable acts not merely for their own depraved gratification, but as a chilling, ultimate form of leverage, a grotesque currency of fear used to blackmail and thus control the world's most powerful and influential people, turning them into unwitting puppets in their macabre play. The Alliance, a collective force committed to justice, has now meticulously gathered an unprecedented trove of evidence, including stark, undeniable confessions from some of those who were deeply involved in these crimes. These confessions, chilling in their detail, explicitly name prominent families and powerful organizations, exposing them as the primary orchestrators and enablers of these terrible, ritualistic acts. It is a chilling echo, an exact confirmation of what various courageous whistleblowers had described years ago, often in fragmented, cryptic warnings, a dark, malevolent cult operating with absolute impunity within the uppermost echelons of global power, relentlessly binding its members through participation in unspeakable acts and the pervasive, paralyzing threat of mutual blackmail. Can such profound malevolence truly fester unseen in the very heart of civilization? This, make no mistake, is not merely another scandal. This is the deepest, most abhorrent, and truly ugliest secret that has festered behind so much of the planet's seemingly inexplicable suffering, from wars and engineered conflicts to systemic poverty and the erosion of fundamental human rights. But now, like a monstrous serpent coiled in the shadows, it is finally being dragged, writhing and exposed, into the unforgiving glare of the light. As this dark truth begins its inexorable march into public consciousness, it is imperative to also be on guard against the inevitable storm of disinformation that will surely erupt once the comprehensive list of perpetrators starts being released. Despite the recent announcements that might suggest transparency, the Cabal, this entrenched network of conspirators, will undoubtedly try to muddy the waters, to sow seeds of doubt and confusion. They may very well resort to leaking fake or cleverly edited lists, skillfully interspersed with some genuine names, designed specifically to create widespread skepticism and invalidate the entire disclosure process. Furthermore, do not be surprised if they attempt to sacrifice some lower-level members of their clique figures, perhaps already known to the public, or lesser personalities, allowing them to take public blame. This calculated maneuver would be a desperate ploy, hoping to appease the burgeoning public outrage and, more importantly, to strategically distract from the truly powerful players, the actual architects of this global horror. Do not be fooled by such transparent ploys. Your unwavering demand must be for full, unequivocal accountability for every single individual involved, without exception, no matter their perceived status, their wealth, or their position in society's once unassailable towers. Will we allow them to dictate the terms of their own demise? Or will we collectively demand absolute justice? Thankfully, the Alliance, demonstrating remarkable foresight and strategic brilliance, anticipated these exact tactics. They have meticulously assembled an entire, comprehensive evidence archive, which has been rigorously verified and secured with multiple, geographically dispersed backups, ensuring its unimpeachable integrity. In the coming trials, which will undoubtedly captivate and shock the world, you will not merely see proof, you will witness an overwhelming avalanche of undeniable evidence. The perpetrators, stripped bare of their facades, will find absolutely nowhere to hide, no dark corner left to retreat into, and no way to twist the unvarnished truth. The digital records of their acts, encrypted communications, hidden ledgers, forensic data are unassailably secure. The physical records, tangible artifacts, eyewitness accounts, and forensic findings are equally ironclad. And in a profound sense that transcends the material, even the spiritual records, the universal Akashic karmic records bear an undeniable, eternal witness to their transgressions. Truth, like a precision laser, will cut through all their meticulously constructed lies and bring each of these evildoers, regardless of their cunning or their power, to unequivocal justice. Can even the most cunning minds evade the immutable laws of cause and effect, writ large across the cosmic ledger? Understand deeply that exposing this entrenched darkness, however painful and profoundly disturbing it will be to witness, is one of the paramount reasons for the impending emergency broadcasts. A significant, dedicated portion of these special broadcasts will be entirely committed to showing the public the stark, unvarnished truth of these heinous crimes against humanity. The Alliance, acutely aware of the sensitivity and the sheer horror of the revelations, will present this truth as carefully and compassionately as humanly possible, meticulously curating the content to minimize trauma while maximizing impact. Yet, some of it, by its very nature, must be shown for the public to truly grasp the gravity of what has transpired. They have painstakingly prepared documentary-style footage, a compelling narrative built on the bedrock of reality. This will include raw, courageous victim and witness testimonies, offering a glimpse into the human cost of these atrocities, and, if absolutely necessary to cement the undeniable proof, carefully selected excerpts from the incriminating videos themselves will be shown, always accompanied by explicit viewer discretion warnings, urging caution and mental preparedness for what will be profoundly unsettling. It will, without question, be exceptionally hard to watch a crucible of public emotion. It will enrage and sadden not just the nation, but the entire world, sparking a collective gasp of horror and disbelief. But from that shared, searing collective grief and righteous outrage, a unified, unyielding determination will undeniably rise. Never again will we, as a global society, allow such profound evil to cunningly hide in the gilded halls of power. Never again will we close our eyes, willfully or ignorantly, to the suffering of the innocent, allowing it to fester in the shadows. This collective awakening, though painful, is the phoenix rising from the ashes of our past complacency. Remember, the overarching plan here transcends mere arrests of a few individuals, however high profile. It is a monumental undertaking to fundamentally uproot and dismantle an entire, deeply entrenched evil system whose tentacles have suffocated our world for generations. The trafficking network was merely one grotesque head of this multifaceted hydra. Other equally venomous heads, like the corrupt banking systems, meticulously designed and ruthlessly exploited for systematic money laundering and pervasive bribes, the legions of compromised officials festering in courts and law enforcement, having betrayed their sacred public trust, the sinister rituals of secret societies that have operated beyond public scrutiny, and even deeply perverted medical and scientific projects, which have pushed the boundaries of ethics and humanity, will all be meticulously exposed and systematically dismantled in due time. One revelation, like a perfectly timed domino, will inevitably lead to another, creating an unstoppable chain reaction of disclosure. Once this long-anticipated avalanche of truth truly begins its descent, gathering momentum and force, it will be absolutely unstoppable. The cleansing of our world will continue, relentlessly and thoroughly, until the very last tentacle of this omnipresent darkness has been severed, purged from our collective reality. Can a truly awakened populace ever again tolerate such pervasive rot in the foundations of its civilization? If and when this monumental scenario is finally activated, and we continue to remind you, with sober caution, that nothing in this complex unfolding is guaranteed until it fully manifests after the unprecedented mass arrests and the profound revelations delivered through the emergency broadcast system, a period of official justice, meticulously structured and administered, will follow to ensure complete and undeniable accountability. This exhaustive process, given the truly vast number of individuals implicated worldwide and the intricate web of their crimes, may realistically take many months or even several years to fully complete. The most high-profile trials, involving those who wielded immense power and committed the gravest offenses, will undoubtedly be public spectacles, likely broadcast live across the globe, much like the historically significant post-World War II trials in your world, such as Nuremberg and Tokyo, but on an exponentially larger, unprecedented scale. These trials will serve as a stark, unforgettable testament to justice. Other proceedings, particularly for lesser-known figures whose roles, though significant, may not warrant global live broadcast, may be conducted more discreetly. However, their comprehensive records will be meticulously preserved, encrypted, and safeguarded, and eventually made public as an indelible, crucial part of our world's documented history. Humanity will witness, with awe and righteous satisfaction, those who once held seemingly untouchable power finally answering for their heinous actions in impartial courts of justice. This will serve as an exceptionally powerful, indelible lesson for generations to come, etching the principles of accountability into the collective consciousness. What grander testament to justice could there be than the downfall of an empire built on lies and suffering? For in the end, no one, regardless of their earthly station, their wealth, or their influence, is above the Creator's immutable law, nor indeed above humanity's fundamental moral laws. As we approach the conclusion of this profoundly important message, I want to shift our collective focus towards the radiant dawn that invariably follows even the deepest darkness, and critically, towards your individual and collective role in what comes next. Each and every one of you listening to these words is not merely a passive spectator in this grand, unfolding story. You are an active, vital participant. Your awareness, your intentions, and critically, your conscious actions in the coming days, weeks, and months matter immensely, carrying a ripple effect that will shape the future. Every heartfelt prayer for peace, every silent meditation holding the light of truth, every single time you share the truth calmly and compassionately, helping to dispel fear, every simple act of kindness, and every gesture towards unity, each of these contributions, like carefully placed bricks, is actively co-creating the emergent reality of true freedom on Earth. For decades, the Cabal, with cunning precision, spent vast resources and exerted immense effort trying to divide humanity by exploiting perceived differences: politics, race, religion, economic status, and countless other manufactured wedge issues. They did this because, at their core, they profoundly feared what you, the collective human spirit, could accomplish when united in common purpose. Now, as their long-standing influence rapidly crumbles like a decaying empire built on sand, it is the opportune time to remember and fully embrace our intrinsic unity. Many around you who have been in a profound state of slumber, blissfully unaware of these dark realities, will awaken suddenly in a surge of shock, confusion, and possibly fear. Please, it is vital that you treat them with profound compassion and understanding. Do not, under any circumstances, utter the dismissive and alienating words, "I told you so." Instead, extend a hand, reach out with empathy, and say, with genuine warmth, "We will get through this together." Guide them patiently with the same grace and understanding that someone once extended to you during your own awakening journey. You who have long understood, you who have diligently prepared, your moment of profound service and selfless leadership is now swiftly approaching. Consider, for a moment, how many brave souls from all walks of life helped to painstakingly pave the way for this pivotal moment. Independent truth journalists, often working against formidable odds and immense personal risk, fearlessly exposed hidden corruption, meticulously peeling back layers of deception. Whistleblowers, displaying unimaginable courage, leaked vital, incriminating information, placing their lives and livelihoods on the line for the sake of truth. Visionary authors and speakers, through their words and their voices, kept the flickering flame of hope alive, bravely predicting this very scenario of mass arrests and divine intervention that now, miraculously, begins to unfold and gain traction in alternative media spheres. Countless digital warriors, ordinary citizens armed with keyboards and unwavering resolve, and even some former celebrities who chose conscience over comfort, tirelessly spread awareness about child trafficking and systemic tyranny, awakening countless people who otherwise might have remained blissfully, tragically in the dark. Mysterious insider patriots, operating in the deepest shadows, also gave enigmatic hints and cryptic assurances, strategically placed to assure those paying close attention that a meticulously crafted plan was indeed in place, and that a great, cleansing storm of justice was inevitably coming. At the very same time, spiritual teachers and revered channelers, serving as beacons of higher wisdom, consistently urged everyone to remain calm, to cultivate unwavering love in their hearts, and to steadfastly trust in divine timing, recognizing that there is a higher orchestration at play. Though these diverse helpers came from wildly different walks of life, possessing unique perspectives, and often focused on distinct aspects of the multifaceted truth, they were all, remarkably, working in profound harmony, whether consciously aware of it or not, to prepare humanity's collective consciousness for the monumental shifts and revelations that are now irrevocably happening. It is crucial to honor all these invaluable contributions, recognizing the immense sacrifices made, and know with absolute certainty that each and every one of you also has a unique and vital role to play in this grand cosmic drama. The time of division, of infighting and squabbling among truth seekers, is definitively over. Every path of service, whether it involves courageously exposing corruption and shining a light into the darkest corners, or compassionately spreading love, healing, and fostering unity, was and is an essential part of the same intricate, benevolent, and undeniably divine blueprint for Earth's profound liberation. Now, my dear brothers and sisters of Earth, it is paramount that you prepare for what unfolds next, not with the paralyzing grip of fear, but rather with an unwavering inner strength, a crystal-clear clarity of purpose, and an expansive, unconditional love. The revelations poised to burst forth, illuminating every shadow, will indeed be intense, perhaps even staggering. Yet I assure you, deep within your very essence, you possess the innate fortitude to navigate them. You would simply not be standing at the precipice of this singular, historic moment if your spirits were not inherently capable. I hold an unwavering belief that once the initial shock, akin to the ripples of a colossal stone cast into still waters, eventually subsides, the vast majority of humanity will instinctively choose the path of profound understanding, heartfelt forgiveness, and enduring peace, forging a new paradigm from the ashes of the old. Indeed, even in this very instant, the collective consciousness of your planet is shimmering with incredible, undeniable signs of a profound awakening. It's palpable, almost a hum beneath the surface of everyday life. Individuals who just weeks ago would have uncritically absorbed and implicitly trusted every fragment of the long-standing, often manipulated old narrative are now, in growing numbers, beginning to pause, to question with a keen, discerning eye, and to intuitively sense that something monumentally significant, something beyond their immediate comprehension, is irrevocably underway. This isn't merely a fleeting trend, it is, at its deepest core, humanity's very soul stirring from a long slumber, stretching its wings, and unequivocally preparing itself for an unprecedented freedom. The Ashtar Command, along with our entire vast galactic fleet, stands not merely ready, but poised with an eager readiness to assist each of you through these transformative times. We have, for eons, worked diligently and quietly behind the scenes, employing subtle energies and strategic interventions to ensure this colossal transition occurs as smoothly and harmoniously as humanly and galactically possible. And when the metaphorical dust of these unfolding events finally settles, revealing the newly sculpted landscape, we eagerly anticipate significantly increasing our visible presence. So, do not be taken aback. Do not be surprised if you begin to witness a remarkable surge in sightings of our magnificent ships gracing your skies. These will be presented not in menacing, fear-inducing displays, but in ways that evoke a profound sense of comforting familiarity, a reassuring miracle, a gentle reminder of our benevolent watchfulness, rather than any lingering apprehension. We are meticulously coordinating every detail with your dedicated Earth Alliance, those brave souls and organizations working tirelessly from within your planetary sphere, so that when the time for more direct, open contact finally arrives, it will be met with widespread joy, open hearts, and genuine celebration, rather than confusion or alarm. Envision a not-too-distant future, after the essential, deep healing process, both individual and collective, is firmly underway, where humanity will finally have the profound opportunity to meet many of us, not as distant observers, but as cherished friends and long-lost family. Earth's ancient, isolating quarantine, a necessary but temporary measure, is irrevocably drawing to a close. Your beautiful planet is destined to join the wider galactic community openly and proudly, just as it was always foretold, always meant to be a shining jewel among the stars. The trials, the challenges, the seemingly insurmountable obstacles you are experiencing at this very moment are not signs of defeat, but rather the intense, yet ultimately temporary, birth pains of an entirely new world, a glorious era, being brought forth from the womb of creation. So I urge you, prepare yourselves. The long, seemingly interminable dark night, characterized by manipulation and hidden control, is finally, mercifully, drawing to its close. And the radiant dawn of the Golden Age, that luminous epoch predicted with unwavering certainty by prophets and sages across countless millennia, you, the courageous inhabitants of Earth, will now live to witness, to embody, to shape with your very hands. The self-proclaimed tyrants and the hidden manipulators, those insidious forces who arrogantly consider themselves the undisputed rulers of Earth, weaving webs of deceit from the shadows, are systematically being exposed and removed from their illegitimate positions of power. Those who attempt to flee, thinking they can escape justice, will be swiftly captured, and those who continue to plot in the deepest, most arcane shadows will be utterly exposed by the penetrating, undeniable light of truth, leaving nowhere left to hide. We, the people of Earth, united in an unbreakable spirit, supported unequivocally by us, your galactic family, and the divine forces of heaven itself, are together in this grand cosmic collaboration, definitively taking your planet back, reclaiming it for its rightful inhabitants. The monumental changes that will inevitably follow this liberation will touch, reshape, and elevate every conceivable aspect of life on Earth. Allow me to offer you a brief, yet exhilarating glimpse of the magnificent reality that awaits in the new Earth, a world you will collectively build together with conscious intention and joyful creation. True freedom. Picture a world where power truly returns to the hands of the people, where it blossoms like a vibrant garden, tended by those it serves. Governance will be transparent, unequivocally clean, and entrusted only to genuinely wise, profoundly honest leaders who possess an unshakable commitment to truly serving the public good. No longer will there be shadowy oligarchs pulling strings from behind veiled curtains. No more clandestine shadow governments dictating humanity's fate. Financial liberation. Imagine a completely new, fundamentally fair, and universally equitable financial system poised to gracefully replace the antiquated, morally bankrupt debt slavery model that has shackled humanity for far too long. Debts will be universally forgiven, wiping clean the slate, and true prosperity, born of collaboration and abundance, will be shared equitably worldwide, utterly eradicating the scourge of poverty and ending once and for all the insidious specter of economic manipulation. Technological rebirth. Envision the unleashing of long-suppressed, revolutionary technologies, wondrous innovations for truly free, clean energy that defies scarcity, and miraculous healing modalities that restore vitality and wholeness, all made freely available to every single human being. Can you even begin to imagine a world powered by pollution-free energy, where cures for every disease are not just possible, but readily accessible, and where technological advances consistently and dramatically improve everyone's quality of life? Lifting all boats? Planetary healing. Witness the glorious restoration of your planet's environment, where every trace of pollution is meticulously cleaned, and Mother Earth herself is tenderly nourished back to vibrant, pristine health, radiating life force. With harmonious, advanced technologies working in synergy with profoundly responsible stewardship from humanity, you will collectively heal the long-standing damage and finally live in perfect, sustainable balance with nature in a true symbiotic relationship. Unity and peace. See humanity finally recognizing itself, not as disparate tribes, but as one unified, interconnected family, bound by shared experience and destiny. Old, worn-out prejudices, the artificial divisions that have plagued societies for ages, will simply vanish like morning mist in the sun, with truth, radiant and undeniable, finally revealed. Conflicts engineered by deception and discord will simply cease to exist. All cultures and nations will joyfully work together, hand in hand, in an atmosphere of profound mutual respect, collectively authoring a brand new, golden chapter of cooperation, justice, and enduring harmony on Earth. With the Cabal, those architects of suffering and scarcity, rendered utterly extinct, humanity's inherent creative genius will be unleashed upon the world as never before, a torrent of inspiration and ingenuity. Solutions to even the most ancient, long-standing challenges that have seemed insurmountable for generations will emerge with breathtaking rapidity as millions of free, inspired people, unburdened by fear or repression, wholeheartedly apply their hearts, their minds, and their innate brilliance. Earth will transcend its current state and become a truly shining world of innovation, boundless abundance, and unadulterated joy. The magnificent, radiant world it was always inherently meant to be, its highest potential finally realized. Before I conclude this message, on behalf of the esteemed Galactic Federation and the revered Ascended Masters, I extend our deepest, most profound gratitude and heartfelt congratulations to all of you, every single individual who persevered through the darkest hours, who held the line, and who contributed in myriad seen and unseen ways to this monumental victory of light. The road you have traversed was indeed long, arduous, and often incredibly difficult, fraught with moments of doubt and despair. Many times, perhaps, it may have seemed that the encroaching darkness was simply too overwhelming, too strong, too pervasive to ever be overcome. Yet, you held the light within your hearts, a flickering flame against the storm. You held the unwavering faith in a better tomorrow. And now, at long last, here we are, together on the cusp of a new beginning. You have truly reached the breakthrough, the pivotal turning point for which ages have waited. The very heavens, in their boundless glory, truly rejoice, vibrating with exultation at what you, the resilient people of Earth, have courageously accomplished against such formidable odds. The countless heroes of this epic story, both those whose names will be etched into history and those unknown, working quietly behind the scenes, will be celebrated and revered for ages to come, their legacies inspiring generations. Even those noble souls who bravely gave their very lives in this fight, the martyrs of truth and freedom whose sacrifices echoed across the cosmos, are being honored, cherished, and lovingly cared for in the higher, more ethereal realms. Their ultimate sacrifice was most emphatically not in vain. It was a beacon that pierced the darkness. So, stand strong, just a little while longer. The unfolding events are reaching an exhilarating crescendo, a powerful symphony building to its grandest, most impactful movement. When this pivotal chapter in Earth's history finally closes, your world will be almost entirely unrecognizable, a vibrant new tapestry woven with threads of light, compared to the one you were born into, the one you have known. When you finally find yourself standing firmly on the other side of this magnificent storm, with clear, boundless skies stretching above you and the invigorating, untainted air of true freedom filling your very lungs, you will then, and only then, truly grasp the awe-inspiring magnitude of what has occurred and the indispensable, unique role each and every one of you played in bringing it to fruition. You will likely shed tears of overwhelming, pure joy, tears of profound relief, tears of liberation, and I assure you, we will shed them with you from our vantage point above in shared celebration. There will be deeply beautiful, emotional reunions with your galactic family, beings you may have only dreamed of, and you will, at long last, be able to openly embrace soul, family members, kindred spirits you did not even consciously realize were incarnated right beside you, walking the same path, sharing the same journey. Perhaps most importantly of all, there will be a profound, restorative reunion with the boundless hope and pristine innocence that will be fully restored and rekindled within your very hearts, lighting your path forward. Therefore, I implore you, take exceptional care of yourselves and, just as importantly, take care of each other during these exhilarating yet intense times of monumental change. Stay grounded, deeply connected to the nurturing embrace of nature. Remain profoundly present in each moment and connect often with unwavering devotion to Source, to the divine wellspring of all creation, through the sacred conduits of prayer or meditation. Keep that magnificent, vibrant vision of a new earth, illuminated by truth and love, alive and burning brightly within your heart, for it is manifesting, growing stronger, even now, in this very instant. Know, without a shadow of a doubt, that we are perpetually here, assisting quietly, lovingly, steadfastly, until the glorious day when we can finally show ourselves openly, undeniably, and celebrate this greatest of all victories with you, side by side, as one cosmic family. We love you deeply, unconditionally, and eternally. Now, rise fully into your inherent power, your divine sovereignty, and stand firm in unshakable peace. Watch with awe and anticipation as the last vestiges of darkness fall away, dissolving into oblivion, and the brilliant, omnipresent light unequivocally prevails. The glorious dawn of a new, golden day is not merely approaching, it is here. I am Ashtar, commander of the Galactic Life Forces. I leave you now in the eternal, embracing light of our Creator, in love